Hello, and welcome to the Meditation Conversation, the podcast to support your spiritual revolution. I'm your host, Kara Goodwin, and today I'm joined by Terri Yuzon. Hemplily's CEO and founder, Terri Yuzon, had fibromyalgia and refused to believe that taking prescriptions for the rest of her life was the only answer. She understood that one of the body's main jobs is to heal itself. So along her journey to restore her health, she discovered that cannabis was the answer for so many with chronic illness. She left her corporate life, and Hemplily was created to share her healing discoveries with others. Her wellness brand focuses on helping women with symptoms of hormone imbalance, from menstruation to menopause and more. So welcome, Terri. I'm so happy to be connected with you today.
Thank you, Kara. So glad to be here.
So can you share with us about your health journey and how it led you to founding Hemplily?
Sure. Yeah. In my 30s, I started not feeling well all the time, pure, utter exhaustion, achy, wasn't sure what it was, and no doctors were helping. I went to various different doctors. They didn't know what was wrong with me either. So after 6 or some doctors, they gave me the diagnosis of fibromyalgia. Okay, what is that? That was kind of scary. 20 years ago, not many people had it. Not many people knew about it. A lot more people know about it today. And almost all of us know somebody who has it, right? But why? Why they don't answer the why for you. So now I know that it was probably because, when I was young, we ate a lot of candy, tons of candy. We ate whatever we wanted. We didn't know there was any repercussions for not eating well. And then in college, you're on a budget, you eat tons of spaghetti and pizza and noodles and pasta, ramen.
Yeah.
And then those habits continued until my early 30s, when it really caught up with me and I just wasn't feeling well. And I definitely noticed it when I would eat pasta, especially.
Oh, really?
Within 15 minutes, my whole body would ache and I just had to lay down. I was so exhausted.
And did you make that connection before the diagnosis?
No.
Okay.
No, it was after, because I didn't want to be on prescriptions. I'm like, I'm going to start listening to my body, and I'm going to start figuring out how to get to the root of this, because doctors don't usually tell us the why. They just want to diagnose and give you a prescription that you may or may not stay on for the rest of your life. So that's not helping us get better, right?
Right.
So yeah, I definitely nailed it down to wheat products being one of the main things. So it's not our ancestors' wheat, it's genetically modified. It's sprayed with glyphosate, which is a neurotoxin. Why are we putting this into our bodies, right? Other countries have banned glyphosate and GMOs, but the US, Monsanto, we still have it. So I also learned how to eat organic. I had to detox. I had to eat organic. I had to learn to cook and eat real food and avoid processed foods. Get rid of toxins in my everyday life, from fluoride in toothpaste, aluminum in deodorant, get cleaner laundry detergents, just everything like that to really detox. And after a year of doing that, I started to feel better. But I continued my research on what is fibromyalgia, why do I have it, and what can we find for relief? And one of the main things was that cannabis was giving sufferers relief from their pain. One of the few things that actually worked for them was cannabis. So I found that intriguing, and I was like, well, that's great. I sure hope people who want that as a solution or help for their issues can get access to it. I was hoping it would become legal. It wasn't for me at the time. I'm like, that's great, but I'm not going to do it because it's illegal. I'm in corporate. I could get drug tested. I don't want to smoke it. I don't know anybody in those circles, but I was pro for anybody who wanted to have it. So I followed the cannabis progress for many years as a very good supplement to feeling better. And it wasn't until 2017 that I found out hemp has a lot of the same medicinal benefits as cannabis, and it's legal. And I was like, wait, is that what I saw at the grocery store? I saw a bottle of Nutiva hemp oil. So I ran out and got one of those and brought it home, tasted it. It's awful tasting, but it's very nutritional. And I didn't feel any better. So I found out after that, it's because it's seeds. Hemp seeds are not medicinal. They're nutritional, highly nutritional, but they're not going to give you medicinal benefits. It's the adult plant extract, leaves, and even more so the buds or the flower of the plant. So I found a cannabis attorney and said, I want to start helping other people try this product. I want to share with them the knowledge that my experience of what I feel like I got over fibromyalgia because I fixed my diet and detoxed. Now I know that I feel fibromyalgia-ish. I feel achy and tired when I eat wheat. If I don't eat wheat, I don't feel that way, right? So I just totally eliminated that diagnosis and told my doctors to stop saying I have fibromyalgia because I have it under control. But the attorney helped me get Hemplily started in 2017 so I could start sharing the knowledge with others and helping them feel better, because we can help them feel better oftentimes really quickly. Like that same day, sometimes when they're in front of us at the store, we can start giving them some relief just by a sample. So that's how Hemplily was born.
That's amazing. So you were saying you tried the one that had the seed, that was from the seed. And then, so how did you get from there to you? So you must have tried, was it an oil that was from the bud, or?
I tried, yeah, I found the research is that you're not going to get it at the grocery store because that's not medicinal. So I found a manufacturer. I tried some products myself and then found a manufacturer. I debated joining an MLM. There was an MLM, multi-level marketing company, that was just coming on the scene selling hemp products back in the day. But I researched, should I join an MLM or can I do this better on my own? And from everything I was seeing, I could do it better on my own and offer prices at, much more reasonable prices for the products. So.
Wow. And so what was that like for you when you started taking the stuff that really did turn the dial for you? Was that, you said that a lot of your clients can feel a difference right away. Was it a right away thing? I'm curious about like a cumulative effect. How does that work?
It can be right away. So we love giving free samples to people in person. For me, because I'd already nailed down what my root issues were and already felt better, the hemp extract, the adult plant, which is CBD, CBD is the primary ingredient, and that's the keyword that most people are familiar with. It gave me calm and balance. Like if I'm feeling anxious or stressed or grouchy or angry, that's why I take it now primarily, is to keep my mood level. And also you can take it for great sleep at night. I do that as well. Sorry, I got off track there. That's what it was helping me. But you're saying as far as demonstrating how fast it is, yes. For some people, no, because we have to figure out what the right amount is for you. Is it more? Is it less? Generally, the average dose or average milligrams for an adult with mild symptoms is between 15 and 20 milligrams of CBD. So I would give that to the person. We did a lot of vendor events in the beginning, and we still do some vendor events so we can let people try it in person. We say, here, take this, put the oil under your tongue, hold it for 30 seconds before you swallow, then walk around, see how you feel. There's no obligation. Let's just try it out. And they'd walk away, go see some other booths, come back and say, I feel amazing.
Wow.
So if we're close to the right amount for them, they should get benefits in the first serving. And then topicals are even easier. Topicals are straightforward. You don't really have to worry about how much. You just apply it. And if you don't feel relief in 60 seconds or less with our products, it can be anywhere from instant to 60 seconds. If you don't feel the relief you need in that time period that quickly, we would recommend a stronger product, or not recommend you buy it at all, because it's not a cumulative effect. For some people it can be, but for the most part, it's not. Whether your body needs it or not, are you getting the right amount for you? Most people do feel a pretty quick response from it.
Wow. And then what about the cumulative part to it? Does it get more, do you get more healing as you stay on a regimen with it?
Not necessarily. I mean, we recommend that you take it daily. You can take it as needed if you want, but you take it daily just as a preventative and reducing inflammation and keeping your mind and body balanced. But it's not that it works better over time.
Okay.
Some people may have that experience, and it's likely because they were taking too low of a dose initially. And it just took a while for the body to figure out what to do with that low dose. But again, if you get the right amount, it should be a pretty immediate response. You don't need to build up over time. Now, because it is a natural product, some people will say, you know, it's not working for me anymore. It worked great for months, and now I'm just not really noticing the effects. You'll either want to adjust the dose, maybe reduce it half as much, maybe double it up, you know, something like that, or you can give it a break, just to give your body a break. It is a natural product. And some people do experience that and then start it up later and you'll get benefits again.
Is that to do with like a buildup of resistance, or?
Yeah, we can call it that.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, you know, other herbs and stuff that we take will often say it used to work for me and now it doesn't anymore.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. So you can, but not a lot of people report that.
Okay. Interesting. Now, I've got a total rookie question for you, but I'm really happy to have you as a resource so that I can ask this, because I actually really enjoy CBD. I don't take it all the time, but I am familiar with it. I have taken it, and I take it, let's say, regularly. But I really don't even know the difference, like CBD in relation to THC and marijuana. Like, can you dissect that a little bit? Because you mentioned your own kind of reservations and hesitancy, and I kind of, without judging, you know, if you want to take THC or marijuana or whatever, that's completely fine. But I don't tend to, you know, partake of that. But I am like, I'll take CBD. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so that's a great question. When I was in my 30s again and finding out that cannabis was helping, I thought the only way to consume it was smoking it. And smoking wasn't for me. Well, when I found out about the hemp side, you don't have to smoke it. So that's great. And also in 2017, there was the differentiation of hemp doesn't get you high. Okay, the plant on its own has just a trace amount of THC. So marijuana is primarily THC that's intoxicating and medicinal, and minor cannabinoids like CBD, CBG, things like that. And that's marijuana, primarily THC. Hemp was the opposite. It was primarily CBD, medicinal, but not intoxicating, and only trace amounts of those trace amount of THC and other minor cannabinoids. So we'd say hemp won't get you high. That line has become blurred now. The law is pretty clear that if you have THC 0.3 or less, it's called hemp. If you have 0.3 or more, it's called marijuana. And nowadays, we even have hemp products that are intoxicating, have high amounts of THC, because we've figured out it's by dry weight. Even a recreational dispensary gummy that's 10 milligrams, we can get that in hemp, and it's still legal. It's the math. It's still legal. So we can no longer say, oh, it's hemp, you won't get high. We used to say that. We can't anymore. So you have to be careful what you're taking. If somebody just says it's hemp, now maybe they say it's CBD. You still may or may not know how much THC is in that plant. Is it half CBD? Is it half THC? So you have to know what you're consuming. Read the labels, understand it. Call us if you don't understand it. Find somebody who does understand it. It's just not straightforward anymore. So some people like the medicinal effect with the intoxicating. I'm very sensitive myself, so I can only tolerate very low levels of THC. So you got to make sure you get the right one for you.
That's fascinating. So does that apply even in states where it's not legal? I know you're in North Carolina. I don't know if it's legal there. It's not in Indiana. So
no, we don't even have medical, but Delta 8 came on the market first, and we're one of the more lenient on Delta 8, which is a more subtle form of marijuana, is Delta 9. It's intoxicating, and now we just do full on Delta 9, because the law, the way it's written, it is fully legal. I mean, the quick math is a 5-gram gummy. The average gummy size in cannabis is about 5 grams, which is 5,000 milligrams. 10 milligrams of Delta 9 THC, which is often the legal limit even in legal states. 10 milligrams divided by, or over, 5,000 milligrams, it's way below the 0.3% limit. So we're kind of like, why weren't we doing this in the first place? It's legal. So the legalization of hemp legalized cannabis in a way.
Okay.
There's kind of an upheaval about that, because if you're on the marijuana side, it's very expensive to get a license. Just to apply, it can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's very
Really?
expensive to get a license to operate, and the government takes a big chunk of your profits. So some people have left marijuana to go to the hemp side where we don't have regulations. So yes, we can sell more freely and such, but without regulations, we also don't have safety. We have a lot of bad players in the market. So you really want to get a referral from somebody you trust on a safe product, or just buy from somebody that is a quality brand. Don't buy them from late night TV. My brand's actually been caught up in that, where some late night they'll say Keanu Reeves gummies, CBD gummies, or Laura Ingraham or Reba McEntire has a CBD brand. They're lying. They're lying in all those cases. CBD's never been on Shark Tank either. People fall for that one all the time. There's scammers that will say whatever it takes to make you think, wow, this must be a really important brand. And unfortunately, a lot of it is just not true. So it is still the Wild West out there. And it seems to be getting more crazy instead of less crazy until we get those regulations.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Hemplily was caught up in that because one of these fly-by-night businesses were putting our name on their bank statement for their credit card processor. So when people get their bill, they thought they bought one bottle of gummies, they got charged for $200. They're calling me angry because I'm showing up on their bank statement. So that's just an example of how the industry is just kind of crazy right now. So we welcome regulation to it. Hemplily's been dotting our I's, crossing our T's, trying to stay above board as possible, as we think regulations are going to come down. And we hope that once they do, that it weeds out the bad guys and we can rise above and hopefully not be overtaxed.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. That's fascinating. Well, can you talk a little bit about hemp and balancing hormones? How does that play in?
Yes. So this is not something we knew about when we started. I mean, people in the industry as a whole didn't know about its role in balancing hormones, but women were coming into my store over the last 5 years saying, Terri, I don't have hot flashes anymore. I don't have my night sweats anymore. Symptoms related to menopause and perimenopause. And I was like, that's really interesting. I wasn't aware of that effect. So I looked into it and I'm like, yeah, this makes sense, because we all have an endocannabinoid system. It's a master system regulator. It's the umbrella over all of our other body regulating systems, like our immune system and our endocrine system, which is our hormones. So it seeks to balance, seeks to create homeostasis in your body for whatever is out of whack for you. And that includes hormones and primarily cortisol. Cortisol causes us to have so many of our uncomfortable symptoms going into menopause. I'm 51, I'm perimenopause as well. So I've experienced them. So I take my products. Estrogen wanes, cortisol takes over, gives us our stress and anxiety and temperature imbalances and stuff. So taking a hemp or a cannabis product can balance your hormones. For some people it will, for some people it won't, but that's why we have a money back guarantee, and we help people try to figure out what product's right for them, how much to take, how often to take it, that kind of thing. We walk through it because it's not always straightforward. And if it isn't working for you and the symptoms you need, we'll just give you your money back. But because a lot of people don't realize, a lot of brands in the cannabis industry, they don't realize how it's helping women, we decided to focus in on that and get that word out. Again, it's like, hey, here's something else new and exciting that you haven't tried. This goes great with hormone replacement therapy. If you're on hormone replacement, you can take this product. If you're hesitant or didn't like the effects of hormone replacement therapy, we recommend trying this. They go great together, and it can be just an alternative for you as well.
That's amazing. I was just talking with a friend of mine yesterday who is having kind of I guess perimenopause would be kind of premenopause.
It is pre-menopause, yes.
Yeah. So she's experiencing some of those effects, and she's like, it is incredible. Like, my body is just changing so rapidly. Like, it's just all of these different things are happening all at once. And she, is careful about what she eats, and she works out, and she's conscientious about her lifestyle. And she's still like, it's just one thing after another. So I can't wait to tell her about this because I don't think it's on her radar.
Yeah. So even a basic hemp product is going to help balance your hormones, but we went ahead and created something a little more unique. We took our basic tincture oil formula and added ashwagandha and reishi mushroom, which are already two herbs and adaptogenics that are known to help symptoms of menopause. And the great thing is CBD enhances the absorption and enhances the effects of everything it's taken with. So you don't need much ashwagandha and reishi mushroom, but we've added those, and it's a triple synergistic punch to knock out those symptoms.
That's incredible. I know ashwagandha is great for thyroid issues too. And so many people I feel like have thyroid issues also. So it's another key benefit.
Hormones are like coming to the forefront now for everyone, including men. And our products are great for men too. We're just hoping to educate women. That's our big push. But yeah, it helps men too, because men have hormones all the same. And it's not just hormones, it's daily stress, daily discomfort, post-workout pain, but can help in a lot of different ways.
How does hormone changes, how do those show up for men?
I'm not too familiar with men's hormones, but I can tell you a customer of mine who was having hot flashes and night sweats shared it with her husband. Men who go through chemotherapy often experience symptoms like a menopause.
No kidding.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And they also go through a phase of life, andropause.
Really? I haven't heard of that.
It can also be called adrenopause, because it's related to our adrenals and cortisol and all that, and hormones all mixed in. But men can often experience menopausal-like symptoms, especially if they've gone through chemotherapy.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Help them with that as well.
That's amazing. And I know in my research, I also saw that there's a bit of a focus on pets. Can you talk a little bit about how, do you guys have products for pets, and how does that help?
We do, but they're not on our website, because our website looks to focus on women's issues and hormones and such. So we do carry pets, but people would have to call us for that. Animals have an endocannabinoid system just like we do, and they get the same benefits as we do. So they get relief from pain and discomfort. We know a lot of our animals have stress and anxiety, whether it's travel, thunderstorms, people coming over, a new pet introduced to the family. I love it when animal rescues can take CBD and give it and just help them with mind and body balance in the transition, because they're so stressed out, poor things, So we have them in treats and in oil form. The oil is just the human grade oil in natural flavor, which most dogs love it.
Oh, really?
And it just is labeled with the appropriate dosage and caveats for pet strength.
Okay, I'm checking that out because I have a rescue dog. We got her in 2019, and 2019, I don't know if you know about this, but in 2020, things just went wild in my world, only in my world. No. But I call my dog a COVID dog, even though we got her almost a year before COVID started, because she's a rescue. And she was already kind of on the cusp of being very anxious. And then COVID happened, and like her world shrank, and she was like, oh, okay, it's just these people. That's fine. Then it opened back up, and she's like, nope, nobody get near this, these. And so she is like,
yeah, she was highly affected from it.
Yes. So I am always on the lookout for like something that will help her to feel, less threatened.
Right. Yeah, that it's very well could help that. That is exact example, a good example of what it does help with. So the endocannabinoid system that we all have, most people don't realize that our bodies actually create a small amount of cannabinoids.
Really?
Pets and humans. And when we're deficient in them, we need to take the phytocannabinoid plant. So cannabis is dense in phytocannabinoids. So 80 years ago, over 80 years ago, doctors used to have cannabis in their bags because it helped over 100 different ailments.
No
And we
kidding.
used to give hemp and feed to our cattle. So it was in our food as well. But
No
the
kidding.
wood, cotton, and big pharma did not like this plant that was doing so many amazing things. It could build houses, it could build cars, it could, it was medicine, clothing. They didn't like that competition. So they created a lot of propaganda around it. That's, a whole nother story, but our bodies became deficient over the last 80 years where we were used to getting it. So now when we
That's
get it back,
fascinating.
it's like a whole new normal. And some people
Mhm.
even feel a whoosh feeling the first time they take it. And they're like, whoa, I need to sit down. And I'm like, it will pass. Now, this is very few people, but I'm like, it will pass. And they sit there and they say, oh yeah, I feel amazing. What was that? That was great. So it's their body going, where have you been all my life?
Wow, that's powerful. So what about children? Is there an age before which you should not take CBD, or is it just across the board?
CBD in general is fine. It's the THC you want to be concerned about. We generally don't want to give THC to kids under 18, maybe even 21. In a CBD product, ours is full spectrum, which means we leave everything intact, including that trace THC. Some brands offer a broad spectrum where they filtered out the THC. We believe in full spectrum, so we're gonna we don't recommend it for kids, but we know it helps them. It's just there's too little studies to know if even that trace THC is beneficial or harmful. I'm going to lean towards beneficial. And a lot of parents do give it to their children with amazing results. We just want to avoid high doses of THC.
Mhm.
So it can help with focus and studying, the anxiousness again. It's helped symptoms of autism, anything that has a neurological imbalance, creates mind and body balance. So it can be just as beneficial for kids because they're deficient too. Just want to make sure you give them the right product. So if people call me and ask about kids, I usually refer them to another brand that is not going to have the THC amount in it until we know better for sure.
Okay. Wow. I mean, this has just been, I've learned so much. I'm eating this up.
It is a very, very, I would say complicated world. And I try to make it simple, but it's just not as simple as we're used to with prescriptions where we say you're a male or a female and you're this body weight, take it this many times, or daily. It's not that simple. So that's why this product doesn't work very well to just pluck it off of a shelf. People are intimidated by it. They don't know what they're getting. So we're consultation based before, during, and after your purchase, money back guarantee, because we know it's not straightforward.
Well, so what is it like to work with Hemplily? How do you initiate, and what is the whole process like?
Our website, hemplily.com, and you just reach out to us through our contact form or our email, hello@hemplily, or you can call us 855-246-HEMP if you need help picking a product for you. Pretty much every product is going to give you some benefit, but if you want to tweak it and say, well, I prefer more help with energy through the day, or I prefer more help with sleep at night, we'll help you pick one that leans towards what you're looking for. And about 2 to 3 weeks after you've ordered a product, we follow up with you, because some people just try it and say, that didn't work for me. And I don't want them to not like Hemplily and feel like they wasted their money. We're going to follow up with you and see how it's going. We need your feedback. If it's positive, we need your feedback. If it's negative, we're going to help you adjust the amount you're taking, more or less, time of day, because the when, how much, and how often you take it is up to you and how you feel. It's not the same as your friend who referred you or somebody you've heard that's tried it. Everybody's got to fine tune it for themselves. So we help you with that. Then if it's still not helping you, we'll check in again. Did you get the relief you needed? They're like, nope, it's just simply not helping me. We just hit a button and refund you, because we're that sure that if you let us help you, it's either going to give you relief right away or we'll help you adjust and then you'll get relief.
Okay, that's amazing. You made me think of one other question, which is about another woman who I know who's been having a lot of trouble sleeping. And she's been trying different things. And one of the things that she's experimenting with right now is magnesium, because that can be so helpful for helping with sleep. But is there anything like that where, if she tried CBD, like, do you need to be worried about any like contraindications if you're taking different supplements or anything like that?
Not with supplements, there really isn't. It's really a safe plant. There's very little risk of harm. It's probably lower risk than most of your over-the-counter medications. Now, we are not doctors. We don't know your exact medical situation. We know generally some medication, not that they go bad with it, but again, CBD enhances the effects of everything you take it with. So you may want to take your CBD 2 hours apart from medications. CBD acts like a blood thinner and a blood pressure reducer. So if you're on those medications, definitely pay attention, talk to your doctor about it. You may be able to reduce the amount of medication you're taking because you're now supplementing with a hemp product. So those are some that we know to be true in just about every case. But because we're not doctors and everyone's situation is unique, we have we're members of an organization called leaf411.org. They are cannabis trained nurses. So they vetted us to make sure we're quality and transparent to work with them. And they give our customers or potential customers a free session with a cannabis trained nurse, a free consultation. So anyone who wants to talk about their specific medical situation, their prescriptions and concerns that I can't help, because we talk, I can talk from which product may be best for you. They will talk more medically. They can because they're licensed. So people call me and I say, you know what, this sounds like something that is more medical for a nurse or doctor to talk about. Here's our referral code. You can use that at leaf411.org and get a half-hour free consultation with a cannabis trained nurse.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Terri, this has just been amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all of your insight, and bless you on your healing journey. This has just been wonderful. Is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up here?
God gave us this amazing plant so we can heal. He gives us what we need to feel better, whether it's cannabis or not. We need to get back to the earth. We need to get back to listening to our own bodies and getting to the root cause and not just patching it with the prescription. Now, that's not to say all prescriptions are bad. Sometimes we have to have them, but too many times the doctors will give us something and not get to the why. You know, they want money. They want you on a prescription forever. So just learn to listen to your body and look for natural solutions.
Well said. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.